Welcome back to the channel, US Rare Coins News, Top 1. What if I told you a tiny, forgotten dollar coin sitting in your drawer right now, could secretly be worth thousands of dollars? Sounds fake, right? But this is 100% real, and people across the US are cashing in without even realizing what they had. It looks ordinary, small, kind of dull, maybe even a little worn down, the kind of coin you'd ignore or toss aside without a second thought. The Susan B. Anthony 1979 $1, a coin so common, most people barely notice it anymore, but hidden inside some of these coins, is a detail so rare, it can turn pocket change into a serious payday. Picture this, a guy cleaning out his old kitchen drawer, nothing special, just receipts, batteries, loose coins. He almost throws them into a jar, but something makes him pause. He spots a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, slightly scratched. Nothing flashy, but he flips it over, looks closer, and suddenly his heart starts racing, because what he sees shouldn't be there. Days later, that same ordinary coin sells for thousands, not hundreds, thousands, all because of one tiny detail most people never even knew existed. So what are you looking for? What makes one of these coins explode in value while others stay at just $1? Here's where it gets wild. Take your 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, hold it up to the light, look closely at the back, the eagle landing on the moon, now focus just above the eagle, at the mint mark, that tiny little letter. If your coin has a P mint mark, meaning it was made in Philadelphia, you might be holding the rare, wide rim, or near-date version, and this is where things get serious. Look at the date on the front. 1979. Now check how close it sits to the rim of the coin. If the numbers look almost pressed up against the edge, barely any space, you've got the rare version. Most coins have a clear gap between the date and the rim, easy to miss, easy to ignore, but that wide rim version, it's tighter, closer, and collectors go crazy for it. Now imagine this, millions of these coins were made, but only a small fraction have that wide rim detail, which means most people overlook it, spend it, or let it sit in jars for years. That's why they're still out there, hiding in plain sight, in old piggy banks, junk drawers, even vending machine change. And the value, this is where it shocks people. A regular 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar might be worth, well, $1, maybe $2, but the rare wide rim version, in good condition, can sell for hundreds, and in near perfect condition, even thousands. Think about that for a second, the same coin, same year, same design, but one tiny detail, turns it into a treasure. And here's the part most people don't realize, condition matters, a lot. If your coin looks clean, sharp edges, strong details on Susan B. Anthony's face, clear lettering, no heavy scratches, you could be looking at serious money. But even worn ones, yes, even slightly scratched coins, can still be worth way more than face value if they have that rare rim. That's why people are going through their coins right now, checking jars, wallets, even asking family members if they have old dollar coins lying around. Because once you know what to look for, you can't unsee it. And the craziest part, these coins are still being discovered today, not in museums, not in auctions, but in everyday places, by regular people, just like you. So don't wait, grab your coins, check every 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar you can find, look at the date, check the rim, because the difference between $1 and thousands is literally a few millimeters. And just when you think this is unbelievable, there's another coin out there, even rarer, even more valuable, a version that collectors will pay insane amounts for, and almost nobody knows it exists. Top 2, what if I told you a single penny, yes, a beat-up, ordinary-looking penny, could secretly be worth thousands of dollars right now, and it might be sitting in your pocket, your car cup holder, or that dusty jar at home. Sounds crazy, right? But this is 100% real, and it starts with the 2009 1-cent coin. At first glance, this coin is nothing special, it's just another Lincoln penny, worn edges, dull copper shine, maybe even a little scratched, the kind you wouldn't even bend down to pick up off the sidewalk. Most people ignore it, toss it aside, or spend it without thinking twice, and that's exactly why this coin keeps slipping through people's fingers. But here's where things get wild. 2009 wasn't just any year, it was the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and the U.S. Mint released 4 special reverse designs that year, each one telling a different chapter of Lincoln's life, and the one minted in Denver, the D Mint mark, holds a secret that collectors are quietly hunting for. Picture this, a guy named Mike, just an average guy from Ohio, cleaning out his garage one weekend. He finds an old coffee can filled with loose change, dusty, forgotten, probably sitting there for years. He almost throws it into a Coinstar machine, but something makes him pause. He starts flipping through the pennies, and then he sees it, a 2009 D penny with a strange, extra sharp design. Something feels off. That off feeling turned into $3,500. Here's what he found, and what you need to look for. Grab any 2009 penny right now, flip it over, and look at the back. You'll see one of 4 designs, but the one you're hunting is the formative years design. It shows young Lincoln sitting on a log, reading a book. Simple, right? But here's the twist. Look closely at the details, especially the book, the log, and Lincoln's hands. On rare versions, there's what collectors call a double die error. That means certain parts of the design look slightly duplicated, like a shadow, or a blur, but not from where, from the actual minting process. Now check the mint mark, just below the date. If it has a small d, that means it was minted in Denver, and some of these Denver coins, with doubling, are insanely rare. Tilt the coin under light, slowly, watch how the lines reflect. If you see doubling on the letters, especially in Liberty or In God We Trust, your heart might start racing, because that tiny detail, that most people would miss, could mean serious money. And here's why this is so important. Millions of these coins were made, but only a tiny fraction have these errors, and even fewer are in good enough condition to catch a collector's eye, which means people are spending them every day, without realizing what they had. That's what makes this a real-life treasure hunt, not in some distant land, not locked in a vault, but hiding in plain sight, in everyday change. Think about it, how many pennies have passed through your hands this year? Hundreds, maybe thousands, and all it takes is just one overlooked coin, to completely flip the script. And the craziest part, the market for these coins is heating up, collectors are actively searching, auctions are getting competitive, and prices keep climbing as fewer of these coins are found, meaning the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to score one. So tonight, don't scroll past this, don't say, "I'll check later." Go grab that jar, open your wallet, check your car, look under couch cushions, because that ordinary little 2009 D penny might not be ordinary at all. And just when you think this is unbelievable, there's another coin, even rarer, even more valuable, one that's been known to sell for over $10,000, and almost nobody is talking about it. But once you see it, you'll never look at your coins the same way again. Top 3, hold up, what if that tiny gold dollar coin you ignored, the one that looks almost fake because it's so small, could actually be worth thousands of dollars, right now, sitting unnoticed in a drawer somewhere? Sounds impossible, but this is real, and it starts with the 2000 D gold $1 coin. At first glance, this coin feels almost disappointing. It's small, lightweight, kind of dull compared to shiny quarters. People even mistake it for a token or arcade coin, and because of that, it gets ignored, lost in couch cushions, tossed into tip jars, or buried in old wallets. But here's where everything changes. The year 2000 marked the early years of the Sacagawea dollar series, a coin that many Americans barely paid attention to, yet hidden among millions of these coins, are a few rare pieces with tiny minting differences that collectors will pay serious money for. Picture this. Sarah from Arizona, just cleaning out her car one afternoon, she finds a handful of loose change under the seat, mostly pennies and nickels, and one small gold dollar coin, scratched, dusty, nothing special. She almost spends it at a gas station, but something about the color catches her eye. That moment of hesitation turned into over $4,000. Here's what she saw, and what you need to check right now. Take your 2000 D gold dollar coin, hold it in your hand, feel how light it is. Now flip it to the front. You'll see Sacagawea carrying her baby, detailed, calm, almost glowing under the light, then flip it to the back, the eagle soaring, wings stretched wide. Now don't rush, this is where most people miss it. Look at the edge of the coin, slowly rotate it. On most coins, the edge is plain, smooth, nothing special, but on rare error versions, something strange happens, the strike isn't perfect, and the details on the front and back look slightly misaligned, almost like they've shifted. Next, check the surface, especially near the date, 2000, and the D mint mark. On valuable versions, there can be extra sharp details or slight doubling, not damage, not wear, but a minting error that happened in a split second during production. Now tilt the coin under a bright light, move it slowly, watch how the gold color reflects. Some rare pieces have a slightly different tone, a richer, deeper gold look, because of the alloy mix, something most people would never notice. And here's the kicker, these coins were made in huge numbers, but the ones with these subtle errors are incredibly scarce. We're talking about coins that slip through circulation unnoticed for years, because nobody thinks to check a common dollar coin. That's why people spend them without thinking, that's why cashiers don't look twice, and that's exactly why opportunities like this still exist, hiding in plain sight. Think about how many times you've seen one of these coins, maybe in change, maybe in a vending machine, maybe sitting in a jar at home, and you didn't even give it a second glance. Now imagine this, what if one of those coins was the one, the rare one, the one collectors are hunting for, the one that could turn a casual find into a four-figure payday? And right now, as you're watching this, thousands of these coins are still out there, being ignored, being spent, being lost, because people simply don't know what to look for. That's why you need to check, tonight, not tomorrow, not next week, because every day, more of these coins disappear back into circulation, or into collections, making them harder to find. So go, grab that jar of coins, check your wallet, dig through your car, because that small, overlooked, almost forgotten 2000 gold dollar, might not be ordinary at all. And just when you think this is unbelievable, there's another gold dollar coin, even rarer, with a mistake so bizarre, so easy to miss, that it has sold for over $10,000, and hardly anyone knows it exists. But once you see that one, you'll never ignore a gold coin again. Top 4, stop everything, because that 1776 to 1976 quarter sitting in your pocket right now, the one you've probably spent 100 times without thinking, could secretly be worth thousands of dollars, and almost nobody realizes it. It looks completely ordinary, worn silver color, maybe a little scratched, maybe dull from years of use, just another quarter you'd use for parking or a vending machine, nothing about it screams valuable, and that's exactly why people miss it every single day. But here's the twist, this isn't just any quarter, it's the bicentennial quarter, minted to celebrate 200 years of American independence, and instead of the usual eagle on the back, it shows a colonial drummer boy, standing proud, with a torch and 13 stars around it, a design most people recognize, but never truly look at. Now imagine this, a guy named David, from Pennsylvania, cleaning out an old drawer in his house. He finds a handful of coins wrapped in tissue, nothing special, just old change. He almost tosses them into circulation, but one coin catches the light, that drummer boy, slightly different, slightly sharper. That tiny moment changed everything, because that ordinary quarter turned into $6,800 at auction. So what did he see that everyone else missed? Grab your 1776 to 1976 quarter, right now, don't wait, hold it under a light, and look closely at the front. George Washington's face, the date split between 1776 and 1976, nothing unusual yet. Now flip it over, and this is where the magic begins. Look at the drummer boy, focus on the drumsticks, the drum lines, and the lettering United States of America. On rare versions, there's something called a double die error, where the design appears slightly duplicated, like a shadow, especially in the text. Tilt the coin slowly, back and forth, watch the letters carefully. If you see a faint doubling, almost like the words are vibrating, that's not damage, that's a minting error collectors go crazy for. Now check the edge of the coin, this part is huge. Most bicentennial quarters have a copper stripe visible on the edge, a brownish line sandwiched between silver layers, but if you find one that looks completely silver all the way through, no copper stripe at all, your heart should start pounding. Because that could mean you're holding a 40% silver bicentennial quarter, originally made for special collector sets, but a few, somehow, slipped into circulation. And those are the ones that can explode in value, especially if they're in good condition, or paired with an error like doubling. Now think about how easy this is to miss. Most people never check the edge, never tilt the coin under light, never study the details, they just see 25 cents, and move on. That's why these coins are still out there, hiding in plain sight, being spent every single day. And here's the urgency, collectors are actively hunting these, searching rolls of quarters, buying in bulk, because every year, fewer of these rare versions remain undiscovered. Meaning your chances, right now, might be better than ever, but not for long. So check your change, check your jars, check that old piggy bank, because that worn, scratched, completely ordinary looking 1776 to 1976 quarter, might be the one. And just when you think this is unbelievable, there's another quarter, even rarer, with a tiny mistake so extreme, so bizarre, that one example sold for over $20,000. And the craziest part, it looks almost identical to the one you already have. Top 5, is this real? A 50-cent coin, something most people don't even use anymore, could actually be worth thousands of dollars, just sitting unnoticed in a drawer, because if you've got a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar, you might want to stop everything and check it right now. At first glance, it doesn't look special at all, it's big, a little heavy, maybe scratched, maybe dull from years of being ignored, most people don't even recognize it anymore, and when they do, they treat it like a novelty, not like something valuable. But here's where things get interesting, this isn't just any half dollar, it's the bicentennial Kennedy half dollar, created to celebrate 200 years of American independence, and instead of the usual eagle on the back, it features Independence Hall, detailed, historic, powerful. Now picture this. Lisa, from Texas, going through her late grandfather's old coin box, nothing fancy, just memories, old nickels, pennies, a few half dollars, she almost keeps them for sentimental value, until one coin stands out, slightly brighter, slightly different. She takes a closer look, and that single coin, turned into over $9,000 at auction. So what did she see, that everyone else missed? Grab your 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar, hold it in your hand, feel the weight, now look at the front. John F. Kennedy's profile, strong, familiar, with the dual date 1776 to 1976 just below. Now flip it over, and this is where you need to slow down. Look closely at Independence Hall, the lines, the windows, the clock tower. On rare versions, there's something called a double die error, where parts of the design appear slightly doubled, like a faint shadow, especially in the lettering United States of America and half dollar. Tilt the coin under light, gently, if the letters look like they're slightly duplicated, not worn, not scratched, but actually doubled, that's a huge sign. Now here's the part almost nobody checks. Look at the edge of the coin, this is everything. Most of these half dollars have a visible copper stripe along the edge, kind of brownish, sandwiched between the silver color, but if your coin looks solid silver all the way through, no stripe, just one consistent color, your pulse should start rising. Because that means you might be holding a 40% silver bicentennial half dollar, originally made for collector sets, but some escaped into circulation. And when you combine silver content, with a mint error, or a coin in near perfect condition, that's when the value can skyrocket into the thousands. Now think about how easy this is to overlook, most people never check half dollars, they rarely use them, they sit in jars, drawers, forgotten boxes. That's why coins like this are still out there, hiding, waiting, being passed over again and again. And here's the urgency, collectors are actively searching for these right now, buying rolls, scanning collections, because every year, fewer of these rare versions remain undiscovered. Meaning the window is closing, slowly, quietly. So don't ignore this, go check your coins, check your family collections, check that old box in the closet, because that big, ordinary-looking 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, might not be ordinary at all. And just when you think this is insane, there's another Kennedy half-dollar, one tiny detail, almost invisible, that has sold for over $25,000. And the scariest part, you could already have it, and not even know it.